Welcome to our today's channel Connect podcast. I have with me today Pellera / Converge infrastructure technical lead. He's based out of the Greater Toronto area and makes very frequent trips to Ottawa and other cities coast to coast. In my mind, he doesn't need any introduction. He's done multiple times data center optimization and modernization. So with no further delay, let me introduce you to the genius when it comes to data center modernization, Darren Livingstone.
Thank you very much for having me.
Welcome to our podcast today.
Absolutely. Looking forward to our conversation today.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, folks, our agenda for today's podcast is going to be more geared towards IBM, overall technology. But what we thought about for our users and listeners, we're going to be spending a few minutes on the flash technology and also on the fusion technology. So that's where we're going to steer our conversation today. And with that, let me just start the podcast today with a very, starting question for our users and listeners. What is IBM Flash technology?
I mean, IBM FlashSystems, it's enterprise-grade storage, all
Awesome.
flash.
Yep.
It covers the gamut of workloads that every client that we work with
For sure.
today. I mean, from mixed virtualization workloads to AI analytics, big data,
Yeah.
and even into mission critical, where clients are really wanting to look for a platform that's shared
Mhm.
that can meet all their demands and their needs.
Awesome. Awesome. So, which brings me up to the second question around IBM Flash systems at a very high level. So, if I have to look and double down on some of the features functionality
Sure.
as to what makes IBM stand out, and I know you have a few of them which you have already tried and kind of have your hands on.
Yep.
So, I would like to take this opportunity to share with the users, listeners, what some of the compelling reasons where IBM Flash systems just stands out.
Absolutely. I mean, IBM Flash System, I mean, obviously all flash. I mean, meat
For
and
sure.
potatoes today. That's the industry. I think what clients forget to do, they forget when they were initially buying all flash, it's the performance. They forget the some of the side benefits of an all flash,
For
right?
sure.
Like the cooling, the power requirements, longevity. I mean, those systems, an all flash system is what clients want today.
Right.
And IBM Flash System meets that and it sells in that space. Very high performance. I mean, I love the agentic AI for
Mm.
day 2
Yep.
operations.
Yeah.
Clients are looking for that proactiveness to ensure that their performance, their arrays are always running at top performance.
Hmm.
Ransomware detection. I mean, it got started off in the backup space, data protection
Yeah.
space, but let's face facts. Let's get it right on that storage array, and that's what IBM Flash System has done today. Every minute, it's looking for that data. I think is super imperative,
For
and
sure.
that's what customers want today, right?
Certainly.
Um, the non-disruptive upgrades, I think, is something else that is, it's become the norm. Everybody wants that, and IBM's done a really, really great job in that space, right? And then the compression dedupe.
Hmm.
I think there's a lot of times you see everyone out there throwing out numbers wildly. I think IBM's been very conservative in their numbers around that space.
Yep.
And I think the most important thing is I go back to that day 2 operation experience,
Yep.
where you don't need to have a team of 30 people. I'm
For sure.
exaggerating, obviously, right? To manage this array, you know what I mean?
Certainly.
And I think that is something where, that's where the industry has been going for a very long time. And between the agentic AI built-in features
Yep.
in IBM's technology, I think we're just going to get better and better.
That's amazing. So, folks, just to summarize, if you want to take that as a takeaway, the 2 or 3 key points in my mind as a key USP is going to be ransomware. I think we all struggle with our current environment. We are in the marketplace. So,
That's
ransomware is a pretty key important component. Number 2, which kind of stood out with me, is the non-disruptive upgrades. As a business,
Oh, yeah.
as a data center, it's important for us to kind of keep that in mind, that these feature functionalities makes our job very much seamless. The users don't get impacted when they are working in a production environment.
Yeah, and nobody likes to migrate stuff. Nobody wants to do migrations. Let's face facts.
100%, 100%. And the last one, which kind of stood out with me, was the real-time data encryption. That to me is a key security feature built in right into the flash systems from IBM. You can't go wrong.
Right. Yep.
So with that, let's kind of dive into our next question, or as we progress along the podcast. So, in the same mind, in terms of adoption as a technologist at Pellera slash Converge. So, when you engage with these customers, how heavily do we lean on IBM Flash systems, and what's the requirements, or how does the customers kind of take advantage of this?
Right. So from a vertical perspective, I mean, definitely the banking sector, I mean, they're high transaction.
For sure.
They don't want, there's no downtime in that space right
Yeah.
today. They want the scale, but they also want the performance, which is super critical to them.
Certainly.
The retail segment, I mean, that goes without being said. They want definitely what's a common theme here? Everybody wants uptime, everybody wants performance, right? And that's something where the IBM Flash system has done a really, really great job of that. Cloud infrastructure. I mean, when I say cloud infrastructure, I don't mean cloud, I mean hybrid, on-prem out into the cloud. I see that, that flexibility where organizations are looking for that. The goes without being said, databases, structured data.
Yep.
Let's face facts, is kind of in the AI space, right?
True.
There's an element of AI wants to use the structured database. The last one I would kick off too would be, we're seeing a lot of organizations that are moving away from a one hypervisor strategy to a multi-hypervisor.
Perfect.
So I hate
That's amazing.
Yeah, I hate to use the words three-tiered architectures.
Yeah.
Cool again, but three-tiered architecture is kind of cool again, because with that shared storage that back end, super high performance, I can host multiple hypervisors in that space.
Yep.
And workload is driving that behavior, right? VMs versus containerizations, AI, non-AI workloads, right? So
No, for sure. No, that's amazing. So just to summarize, and again, I think it's a great segment slash vertical to think about. So don't think IBM is going to be kind of narrowed down to banking, retail, insurance. So if you have a scenario where you're dealing and have a large data points you need to kind of look at, from a data tiering, ransomware protection, live migration, no downtime at all.
Yep.
And think about IBM Flash systems, which kind of puts me into my next question, or my next thought process, which came into my mind is, so how do we actually internalize IBM Flash system, especially across, if I'm going to a different vendor's mindset, like, from a database perspective.
right.
So if I'm a customer with Oracle, SAP, MongoDB, to name a few,
Yeah.
how does IBM, from your experience as a technologist, and you have a lot of hands-on experience in it, how does IBM Flash system play in that scenario?
Super low latency, super fast.
Awesome.
I mean, the fundamentals of everything database, right? The last
Yeah.
thing you want is that subsystem not to keep up to the
For sure.
to the demands of the application.
Yep.
Encryption. I mean, I think enough. You made the comment earlier about encryption. I think encryption is something that's often overlooked, because there's always in the past, encryption always put this overhead,
For sure.
to the subsystem. That's not the case anymore. Scalability. I mean, petabytes. I mean, the days of terabyte, hundreds of terabytes has kind of gone away to now into petabytes. We are in the world of data, and organizations are looking for that, right? The ease of management, centralized management. People, that is another thing that can't go without being said. If you make the interface so complex, no one's really going to want to, leverage.
Certainly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's something where I think, IBM has done a really, really great job on that as well. I made the reference comment earlier about virtualization. I think that is something that I see growing, people moving back to that three-tier, that vision of moving back, ability to migrate is all part of that, IBM Flash system embracing that technology.
Awesome. So with that, I have one last quick question for you. Correct me if I'm wrong. So when I think about Pellera slash Converge, Pellera has a strong team beside the storage platform, power systems. And also when I think about it, I also think about data and AI.
Right.
So for folks who are listening to us for the first time, there's a dedicated team in Greater Toronto area, coast to coast in Canada, including Ottawa and the Quebec and the East Coast, where we can actually double down, help you with your data center optimization, modernization. If you have anything in terms of data and AI, you need help in building those scenarios, your agentic AIs, please connect with your Pellera dedicated rep at the earliest, so we can actually come in and do a study, assessment, on how do we actually help you optimize for your short-term and your long-term IT business plans.
Absolutely.
So with that, I will bring this to our closure. So thank you once again for coming down for this Channel Connect podcast. And it was a pleasure hosting you. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.